Okay, great. I hope this recording is working. So I just wanted to pop up and offer you this workshop because I know that some of you couldn't come, and I wanted to do like a short version of this workshop. So let's go and discover what the roses have for us today. Sharing my screen just here, and right. So okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience. All right, so today we arrive at the Temple of Roses to talk about how can we heal the modern diseases with the help of roses, and what messages do they have for us. So first of all, just reminding you, if you didn't attend to the first workshop, is that everything is alive, everything has a purpose, even diseases have a purpose. Everything has multiple layers and meanings to it. Roses have multiple meanings, and diseases also. We are trying with the plants and the roses to dive into the meaning of what these events and these diseases have for us in order to cure ourselves, but also to remember that the plants hold big medicines, big remedies for us, not only for the body. I'm not talking just about the body, I'm talking about the mind, the spirit, and also on the global level. The roses helped me to see that the sicknesses that we suffer from are not only ours, they are global. They touch our times, they touch the next generations. And we are going to understand what these meanings are together. So let's get into the topic. Reminding you of these points that we've seen in the first workshop about the global diseases that touch the whole body. They touch our eyes, our skin, the liver, the kidneys, the heart, everything. They touch everything within us. They are not isolated. They are not separated. When we talk about a disease of liver, well, the whole body suffers from it. It is an impact, and the symptoms get mixed, and sometimes we get lost in the symptoms. We do not understand what is the origin of the problem. In the chapter 1, we have seen together the eyes, how to heal the eyes physically and spiritually in the modern world in order to see ourselves in a better way and also the world. And today, we're talking about the fatigue, the chronic fatigue specifically, but in general, the fatigue physically and spiritually in the modern world. It's touching so many of us. And the reason for this, the reason we are bringing this at the Temple of Roses today is that we want to live our life. We want to feel alive and to share life with others. So bringing you some just informations to nourish the mind. What is a chronic disease? Or chronic fatigue syndrome. And here from the definition, you're going to find the link below. So what we call CFC, or myalgic encephalomyelitis, is a complex illness and syndrome, and its symptoms is often, fatigue, fog, and we're going to see more the symptoms below. But it's, for most of people, it lasts a long time. It's more than 6 months. It's not something that comes and goes. It's something that lasts for longer. So here are kind of some of the symptoms, and of course we are not here to diagnose. We are really just here to share the information, and I suggest you talk with your doctor, with your practitioner, to have a better understanding of this. But for today, we want to kind of navigate this and navigate the symptoms and understand a little bit what it is. So some of the symptoms include impaired memory, inability to concentrate, inability to remember, difficulty to learn or to concentrate and to make decisions. And some other symptoms might feel people might feel dizzy, lightheaded, difficulty to be grounded, where I call it to be grounded, and weakness. It's very interesting to see that in the US in 2015, there are between 800,000 people and 2.5 million Americans who suffer from it. And we believe that there are much more now after, these statistics at 2015. I'm sure there are more updated statistics showing more. Here it's really interesting because in a study, they found out that individuals who identify themselves as fatigued recognized that they have chronic conditions, for example, neurological, neurodegenerative, psychiatric, and immunologic. So it's really interesting to see that the fatigue might be a symptom of some other underlying reasons and conditions. So here they concluded in one of the Polish studies that the fatigue is a common and under-recognized symptom affecting Polish population, because they had 93% of the researchers, they had these kind of conditions. So are you tired? So tiredness is a symptom in our society. We all suffer from it. I mean, just look around you, look within you, how easy we get tired. So I want to see some just, examples, because in French, when we say fatigue, it's tiredness. But in English, fatigue became a bigger symptom. And it includes, as we have seen a little bit earlier, fog, fatigue, feeling the loss of feeling dizzy, the loss of memory, but also emotional detachment, feeling defeated, irritability, the difficulty to make decisions, and oh my gosh, I'm sure I see many clients having this feeling of being overwhelmed. It's too much for me. And here you find also from medical news today more symptoms, about the temperature, the anxiety, the sore throat, the flu-like symptoms, and so on. So from this, we see that the fatigue is a symptom for something else in a way. So why me? Why are we feeling tired? Why are we all feeling tired as a society, as families, as workers, as students? So some of the reasons, we are looking at the underlying reasons, but of course there are many. The lack of sleep. We might not sleep enough, using the screens before we sleep, or because we have so much things to do during the day. Maybe we have some deficiencies. We will be looking at that a little bit more later. Maybe because of stress, we have so much responsibilities. Maybe because of other health conditions. For example, in my case, as I suffer from the Lyme condition, when I feel that fatigue, well, it means that maybe I'm having a relapse, or maybe I'm having an autoimmune situation here. A poor diet. Sometimes we do not have time to cook if we are too busy working. Caffeine, for those who drink coffee. Dehydration, because the water we drink, it does not hydrate us. I hear many saying, I drink water, but I don't feel like satisfied. It's as if I didn't drink anything. There's a reason for it. We talked in the first chapter about the quality of water and the quality of food, and how the pollution and toxic metals have impacted our waters. Body weight can be a problem, drugs and alcohol, work, extra work, overworking, a sedentary lifestyle, because most of us work on the computers. We are sitting all the day. We don't have the possibility to go walking or do sport, or even just move during our days. And some medication also can have an impact. Right. We're talking about food again. We talked about it a little bit in the first chapter, but in this chapter, we want to see the deficiencies, deficiencies that cause this very very, very extreme situation of fatigue where we cannot do anything, we can't even think properly. And these deficiencies touch the iron. Many of those who suffer from fatigue that I see in consultation have iron deficiency. The vitamins B, of course, vitamin D, not much sun, vitamin C, being very sensitive also to all things, flu and so on, magnesium. So why do we have these deficiencies? As I said before, maybe because of the quality of the food we eat. Now, there are some studies that show that one apple today, does not have the same nutrients in quantity and quality as an apple 50 years ago. So we are kind of obliged to eat more to have the same amount of nutrients. That is really a problem. So the quality of food is not as before. We are not eating enough. Even if the quantity is big, it's not nourishing for our body. But, when I talk about this, I always remember juicing, because for me, it's really one of the best solutions. Juicing vegetables and fruits. There are many practitioners, nutritionists, and naturopaths that talk about that and that offer really kind of an abundance of nutrients to our body. We don't have much knowledge about our body, and that's one of the reasons that at the Temple of Roses we try to link the body with the spirituality. Roses are helping us not only to embody our femininity, to embody the goddess, to embody the highest principles. It is helping us also to embody in these bodies here on earth, and to prepare the ground for the next generations, because we forgot how to think about them and to prepare the earth for them. So we have to learn, we have to relearn what is food, how to eat, all these things that are now available to us. You are watching this video for free, which means that knowledge is free. I had to go and look for these reports online, and they were free. Of course, I have to pay electricity, I have to pay my time being here, but there is a desire for me to share this knowledge and to, bring it and like wind, letting it to be transported, because that's what I am bringing here. So I hope that you also share this presentation or share knowledge about food to your kids, your friends, and so on. Bring these discussions so that we bring more information to the public. Low income, a problem in our times, and organic food is so expensive. The quality good food is quite expensive. The water quality also, which that's something really interesting that we find linked to fatigue, which is the leaky guts, because of the quality of the nutrients that we take and other factors. So that's something to be aware of. All right. So another reason for the high fatigue ourselves, and this is a pretty kind of strange topic, because we talk about aging, and people who suffer from immune diseases, we talk among ourselves about aging fast, and that is something that for me is being revised, because if our cells get to be regenerated, for example, you see here the retina gets regenerated every 10 days, the skin every 21 days, the neurons every 60 years for sure, but they get regenerated. So there is something about aging that we learned in our society that does not seem right, does not seem correct, because everything within us is able to be regenerated. Here is another research. I forgot to put the link for this one, but for example, if the sperm cell 2 to 3 days, the colon cells 3 to 4 days, so everything gets regenerated, even the bones. So why are we talking about why are we talking about aging? Well, the problem is the health of the cells that has been impacted by the environment that we are in. And remember, in the first workshop, I talked about, the nutrients. I talked about oxidation. We're going to just see it quickly here. The waves, the electronic waves and so on. We are living in spaces that accelerate or do not allow, that's the word I need to change. They do not accelerate aging. They do not allow a proper regeneration of the cell. Toxins, again, and not enough time to rest and let nature regenerate itself. That is, for me, something I came to understand, that I have to allow my body to regenerate. And to do that, sometimes I have just to do nothing. I have to support it, give my body enough antioxidants, enough vitamin C, enough sleep and so on. But it's really to not do anything and just trust the body in its way of regenerating. Sorry, my phone. So, another factor, and here I really want you to follow me for this point, because this is something about stress. We know that stress is oxidative. Stress generates tiredness. And there is the inner stress, of course, I'm not enough, I'm tired of this, I'm feeling overwhelmed, all these things that we hear among people who suffer from fatigue. But there is also stress from the outer world, and we do not have to put all the stress on us as if we have to learn how to deal with stress. Actually, a lot of stress comes from outside. Remember, we talked about the toxins, the cadmium and lead in the first chapter, how they impact our body. The oxidative effect also as a stress for the body. But let's go deeper, and I want to take you into a different space. So I like to think about the narcissist people as being a factor of stress. Just follow me for this point. People who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder, they have a sense of self-importance, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. They're entitled. They can only be around people who are important or special. They interpersonally exploit each others. They are arrogant. They lack empathy. They must be admired. They are envious of others or believe that others are envious of them. Here are some other factors, some behaviors of narcissism, making, insulting others, the lack of empathy, again, demanding unreasonable favors, needing to be at the center of information, and so on. I put you also other, manipulative and controlling, how to use the many emotions to manipulate others, and so on. So the effect of narcissism, I really believe that narcissism has a big impact on people. Now, even if you do not have people around you that are narcissistic, just follow me for this point. I'm coming into it. So the impact of the narcissistic abuse is anxiety and depression, headaches, body aches, trouble sleeping, post-traumatic stress, short-term memory loss, mood swings, and depersonalization, loss of sense of self-worth. And this is the point. Aren't we living in a culture of narcissism? We could have this in our society. We have this as a global logic that is impacting us on global level. So let me come back here. So look around you for the society that we are living in it. There is a lack of empathy in our society. There is the need to be at the center of attention. Just look at all these Instagram, Facebook things. There is the need to take advantage of people's kindness to get money or to get that attention. There are demanding unreasonable favors. Just look at the taxes that we are paying. Look at the amount of things that we have to take care of that our parents did not have to take care of that much. They had other concerns. They might have other stress, but We are living in a stressful society and in a narcissistic society, and that's what the roses are bringing to our attention. We are living all the time bombarded by narcissistic behaviors from the society as a whole. We have embodied these behaviors as the way to live in community in our modern time. So let's get out of this. Let's get out of this. The solutions. Let's see what possible solutions you might, when we know the cause, we know how to deal with it. When we talked about food, the quality of food and organic food, we can grow our own, even if we cannot. There are some farmers, and I'm sure there are in many places in the world, they prepare boxes for you with a really reasonable price, and you can get that box every week with vegetables of the season, and they're made really with love and care. You can eat seasonably, following the seasons, allowing to your body to acclimate and to live with nature and not living out of nature. You can use your freezer if you need to reduce food waste. If you use a juicer, for example, you can use what is left for a soup or something. You can eat less but better. I wrote but you eating less but better. There are people who do like fasting with juices and so on. Please check with your naturopath and practitioner to see the best diet for you. There is not just one diet for everyone. You are different, so you have your own body to adjust to, and he will ask you what he wants to eat. So plants and natural supplementation also will help. They are here to help us. You can find so many herbs for free outside. For example, for me, I like to go and collect rosemary, thyme, roses, and make some tea with them, and it's really for free. You just have to water them, and sometimes you just have to go to the forest and just get some. There are some applications that can help you to recognize these plants, and a lot of videos also available for free for that. So what is hidden? What is hidden behind this fatigue? It's important also to follow with your doctor to see if there is another disease or another condition behind that. So many, the modern diseases, we talked about, toxicity as being a modern disease. We are going to publish a translation of the book about the liver by Elizabeth Ashley, and the liver is one of the organs touched by the modern diseases. So what are the other conditions? Is there a hormone disturbances? Is there something that you're allergic to? For example, when we talk about lactose and we talk about gluten, we might be allergic to what they are eating. Everything is GMO. So go always beyond a diagnosis, because diagnosis most of the time is made upon symptoms, and do not hesitate to ask your doctor questions and to prospect a little bit more. And how to say no. We talked about this narcissistic society we are living in. There is no empathy. There are no occasions of sharing. We are kind of destroying this concept of community because of luck, because of the money, because of this and that. And sometimes saying no is not just quitting. I always say it and I repeat it. You don't need to quit. You don't need to quit. Some will quit for sure, but if you don't feel like it, if it's not what you are meant to do, well, don't do it. But saying no can take other ways. This saying no is energetic before it can be something else. You have to say no from within, and it will start rippling as waves to the outer world. I cannot say you or tell you how to say no, but it's really for you to come back to the sacredness of who you are within and understand that what is happening is not right. On a global level, on a personal level, we are under attack by a narcissistic society all the time, and we create this society. We can recreate it in another way. Nothingness is how much love this rose. Nothingness is about not doing anything sometimes, and that's something, a luxury that we forgot what it is, and we have so much. I myself suffered so much from feeling guilty of not doing anything, of not being productive enough, of not being good enough, because the society, the family, the global logic and invites you to be always doing, because you are doing, and thus you exist. But it's not really the truth. Nothingness is important so that things can emerge. And if we are always in action, then when do we regenerate? When do our cells regenerate? So that nothingness sometimes also takes you away from the towns and the cities. Sometimes I really like going somewhere where I do not hear any car, anybody, just being alone with me, with nature, and just feeling that, just sharing this with you here now. I just feel that heat, that energy, that organic energy going through my body, and feeling replenished, feeling nourished, feeling breathing again. And of course, we are talking about the roses. And I love the book of the goddess Rose Medicine by Elizabeth Ashley, that we translated also in French, talking about the effect of roses on our health, on our mood, on our stress, on our sexuality. I mean, just read the book, because it's gonna teach you so much about the rose and the impact of it. Another meaning, looking for another meaning. We talked about our society. So this fatigue that we are living on a global level, it might be a cry from within to change the society, to do something else, to live in another way. We arrive to a point where our bodies are saying, no more, I'm done, I cannot go further, I cannot live like this, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm done. And it's a cry, it's a call from Earth itself, because we are done. Now it's time to create something new. So something that is more in harmony with our body. And I know some of you are creating it. I know some of you have changed their lives, and some of you can't change their lives because you have kids, you have families, you have work. But at the same time, can we prepare the ground? Can we prepare the ground for the future generations? And that, I believe, is the deeper meaning of our global fatigue, is to understand that there is another way to live, and that the way we are doing it is not right. So instead of accepting solutions coming from the outer world, what about taking the solutions that we talked about, about food, about resting, about saying a no from within, and getting back, closing the eyes and coming back within. It's about understanding our role. We are so tired. So how can we carry the earth? How can we carry the energy to the next generations? And this is one of the points, the main points coming really today in today's workshop together, is let's think not only about us. Let's behave in a non-narcissistic way. Let's think about each other's. Let's bring love. Let's bring compassion and understanding. Let's bring space. Let's bring space between us, between each other's, and to listen, to be present, to prepare the ground for the future generations, because that's the way of being empathic, not only with those who are living here in our times, but those who are coming on the way. Let's heal the world. Let's heal ourselves. Let's heal the world. So before going to the next workshop, I want just to take a moment with you, and you might just close your eyes and really dive in asking yourself this question of, am I tired of living this way? And do not be afraid of saying yes or no, depending, but do not be afraid of confronting yourself with this question. Am I tired of life? Am I tired of living this way? Do not be afraid of not finding solutions right away. Most of the time, it is by understanding and accepting a situation that we welcome the solutions. They come. They come through dreams, through journeys. The answer might be so simple and so easy if we let ourselves hear it, away from the noise, away from the programations that we have. The answer might be just rest every day, 1 hour at least before you sleep. Or maybe just make a bath for you using the roses, essential oil. Maybe the answer is just to spend more time with your kids. Maybe it's to retire earlier. Maybe it is to change your job or country or town. But, even if we are tired as an individual or as a global society, we still have the courage. We still have the courage to make the changes. We've got the power, and you're gonna see it, Your body will give you the strength when you feel you have a solution. When your body knows that there is a solution, it will give you the power. It's something magical. I can't explain it physically. It's just something really interesting about the magic of the body. It is our partner. It is our collaborator, and it speaks to us. It speaks to the world. It is saying things that we shall hear now. So what about closing your eyes just after this meeting together and just resting a little bit more? And just before I leave you to your rest, your space, I shall meet you in another workshop. And if you want to go further to read about the medicine of roses, I leave these books here for you. I welcome you also the Temple of Roses, where we learn the logic of roses and we go through embodying them and embodying our essence on earth. And we have this tour coming up, the Double Goddess of Portugal, the Celtic Goddess of Portugal in 2024. We are registering now. So if you are interested by this tour and to connect with the senses, the body will be part of this tour. Well, I welcome you. If you want to learn more about how to protect your energy, you have these books also. And the next workshops that I will be holding in partnership also is the Creative Tarot Study Workshop. There is the Psychic Protection Workshop live. This will be a really great workshop if you can come. It's going to be with Chris and Maggie. There is the Shadow Workshop also with Tarot that will be held in October. It's the season, right? And the experience of the eclipse at the Temple of Roses. All these events, I will leave the links below so that you can register. I thank you very much for being here. I wish you a very good night's sleep or a good meditation or rest. And please let me know how you experienced this workshop. How did it speak to you? And I shall meet you soon for another workshop. Bye-bye.